Go ahead.
Welcome back, everyone, to
Parallel Lens.
Parallel Lens. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. What up, our fellow 4-eyers? We'll figure that out. We'll get that figured out. Maybe we try something new every time.
Yeah. So, the lens, two lens, we're blind. So, you guys, as our wonderful viewers and listeners and readers out there, I don't know how you are consuming this.
One of our friends told us that podcasters call themselves readers.
No, they're writing. They're writing because
writers or readers.
Well, they're calling their viewers readers.
That don't make sense to me.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of there with y'all. So I'm there with. Who are you today?
My name's Brock.
Don't
do it.
Cynthia.
Oh.
Okay. Ooh. See?
Okay.
That's right.
Where are we today?
We are in Nashville. A favorite place of yours.
I've been traveling to Nashville a lot for work. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now.
I'm just tired of it.
Where is Nashville actually?
That's a little bit embarrassing.
Oh. Where here, duh.
That's a little bit embarrassing. I'm going to give you a point.
No, I was asking for the folks who don't know where Nashville is.
You calling our people uneducated?
Heck no. No, you see, the thing is, some people don't know. That doesn't mean they're uneducated. It's just like sometimes the information just doesn't get around. That's just how it is.
He's calling you guys stupid.
No, he's calling you stupid.
You guys are
Brock.
There are
you can't be looking down on our wonderful readers like that.
But some people like that.
What? To be degraded?
To be looked down on. It's like people that like to be stepped on.
What we're learning today is Brock likes to be stepped on. And so then we can talk about that in a different lens.
Especially by nurses and police
officers. Okay. Wait, why specifically nurses and police officers?
Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny.
That makes so much sense. Sorry, guys. I didn't clock the joke there. Anyway, today we're talking about TV shows.
Yeah, we're talking about the big three channels of everyone. Not everyone, but most people's childhoods: Cartoon Network, Disney, and then Nickelodeon. But specifically, this is going to be a series where we'll talk about what our views are, what we grew up watching, what shows we grew up watching, whatever, what we liked from each of those channels. And then eventually we'll go to the adjacent ones and even talk about the ones that weren't so popular, like PBS Kids, Kids WB, or Fox 5 or Fox News, whatever.
Yeah. Fox 5
whatever people like. All I know is that back in my day.
Yeah.
Fox was on Channel 5.
Oh. What is it on now?
I don't know. But that's why it's called Fox 5 News.
Oh, that makes sense. Guys, I did not really consume the news. So that makes sense. There's a difference there.
No, that's on brand.
Yeah, I got my news from,
TikTok. For consumers.
That's how the info gets spread around here. Who's turning on? I mean, honestly, is the news even like... Okay, backtrack.
Our ADHD is kicking in.
Yes. So today we're going to be talking about our favorite TV shows. Specifically for today, what is a channel that we're going to be focusing on?
We're going to start with Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network,
I think, is one of the big ones, right? Definitely big. You have but we're not going to talk about like Toonami or Adult Swim. We're going to focus on main Cartoon Network. The shows that came on like after school at 3:00 when kids got back from school. And watch shows before doing homework, or even like the shows that came on like 5 or 7. Yeah. When people finish homework, or kids finish homework, and wanted to.
It's like their downtime of the day. Like, what comfort show do I want to watch?
Yeah, essentially.
And I've also listed ones. So actually, let's talk about like the premise of how we ranked and like listed this out. Okay. When you were making those lists? What was your mind set aside from like, oh, this is a show I like look forward to watching? Was it like how it made you feel?
How it made me feel?
What you remembered?
Do I remember it? Do I want? Is it when I see it or hear the name? Do I want to rewatch it right now just to relive the nostalgia?
Yeah, that's similar to how I did it. I based it off of like nostalgia. Yeah, does it bring me good memories? And then second one, whether I want to rewatch it because of how much I liked it, and then Yeah, just what I remember. If
also,
I remember
if it influenced you, right?
Oh.
Maybe some of these shows may have like influenced your like how you take like your like take on comedy, your take on like artistic views, right?
Yeah.
So we'll definitely get in there. So, but today we'll talk about our top 10. Mm-hmm. We said 10 because we originally said top 5, but then when we started looking through the list and looking online on like the different shows we grew up in, we were thinking, oh shoot, top 5 is pretty hard. Maybe let's do top 10.
No, Brock texted me and he was like, Cynthia, are you having a hard time? And I'm like, I'm thinking we can still do top 5. And he's like, I'm struggling. And I was like, what? Why is he struggling? So I go on Google and I'm like searching up just the range in which, so I literally just went 2000s Cartoon Network. And I'm like looking at the list. I'm like, oh my gosh, it actually is hard. So.
She didn't believe me.
No, I did not at first. I doubted him.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, like, I don't think I'm having a hard time even coming with top 5. I'm like, what do you mean?
And all because I have terrible memory, guys. So, all right, where do we want to start? Do we want to just number 10 and then go up the list essentially?
So ladies first.
All right, y'alls. So I also we have the dates of when it premiered. So this is kind of giving us a good timeline too. But at my number 10 Cartoon Network show, Johnny Test.
Coming at number 10. Johnny Test. Ooh, actually, I remember Johnny Test.
Yeah.
I actually do remember Johnny Test.
You do?
When did that come out? 2005? 7?
2005. Very impressive.
Oh, yeah. I knew my shit.
Dang. Very impressive.
I know my shit. I think I was in middle school or something like that.
Yeah.
Middle school or high school. But I didn't start watching it in 2005.
I did not either.
I think I started watching it like a year or two later. Maybe it was when it was doing reruns. Because I don't ever remember it coming on and like it's saying like, oh, brand new episode of Johnny Test or catch it, or this week brand new episode of Johnny Test is like coming up next. Another episode of Johnny Test is like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's how I've always, because I think it was after school as well.
Yeah.
I would come home and then typically, so I would like interchange between Cartoon Network and Disney Channel. And it was always like going back and forth. If Johnny Test was playing, I'll just keep it on as I'm waiting for the Disney Channel premiere. Yeah. So I liked it. I think I remember a lot about it, although I don't, like I liked his dynamic with the dog that he had.
Oh yeah, he did have a dog.
Mm-hmm. And the crazy, like, crazy inventions that were going on as well.
Well, why don't you give it like a brief rundown of what it was for the listeners and viewers. You did not do your. All right, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to do this then.
No, I thought we were doing. Do you remember?
Yeah. So it's basic. The premise is it's this kid. I forgot it was preteen or 10 years old or whatever. Yeah.
Just a picture for reference.
I mean, yeah, I remember. I have a clear visual in my head. Basically, it's a kid. He has two twin sisters.
Yep.
And they're like geniuses. They have a lab, kind of like a mix of Dexter's Laboratory and like other shows too, right? But basically, they have a lab. They do experiments. They turn a dog into a talking dog, and they essentially go on adventures. And every episode is like starts out with like him getting in trouble and trying to use one of his sister's inventions to like get him out.
Yeah, essentially. So thank you for explaining that.
I liked it.
Yeah, but it's at my 10. But I remembered watching it like often, frequently. Not that it made me feel any type of way. I was just like, I remember this being a show like to pass time.
Then why was it in your top 10?
Yeah, because my list is short. I found 10, but like the top 5 is really where it's at for me. Okay, so
all right, fine, fair enough. My number 10, Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo, another Johnny.
Do you even know Johnny Bravo?
I do. He has that luscious hair.
Go on.
He go,
Go on.
He has shades.
He
has a nice cool car.
I don't think he had a car.
Oh, shoot. I'm just pulling shit out of my ass.
I don't know if he had a car.
All I know is that he was raising up women in the show. All right.
I would say he was trying to raise up.
Oh, yeah. Attempting to.
He was attempting to.
Yeah.
He was basically what you would call a sexual harasser.
Whoa. Is that what it was about?
I mean, think about it.
I didn't really watch it, so
it was a typical
tell me the
like comedy like cartoon show where the dude was just like
chasing. Is that
was just like chasing every episode? He would get himself into a situation.
There he is, and his full pectorals and everything.
Every time you do this, you're gonna have to put up a picture and post and edit.
All good.
you probably want to avoid it. But yeah, basically, like, the premise show is him, like, going after girls and where they don't want to be gone after. So technically, he was harassing them.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was a funny show. My parents didn't think too much about it
at the time.
But I was also stuck between like this show or Ed and Eddie.
Oh,
I remember more Johnny Bravo only because of the Christmas special.
There was a Christmas special?
It was a Christmas special.
What was that about?
It was on every Christmas. I mean, it's just him going. He forgot his mail off his and his mom's. He's also a mama's boy. Oh. He forgot to ship off him and his mom's Christmas list, Santa present list.
Okay.
And it's him going on an adventure to like get this to Santa Claus. And you know, at the end of every Christmas special, right, you learn like, oh, it's not what I want, it's what other people want. Yeah. Because Santa, spoiler alert, Santa will read off his list, and it's essentially everything that he wanted. Yeah. But he was reading off of his mom's list. Oh. Yeah. So the mom was asking for stuff for him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Dang. There we go. Look at that.
But like I said, I was debating between this and Ed and Eddie.
Yeah.
I chose this out Ed and Eddie because I kind of remember this a little bit more.
So Ed and Eddie didn't even reach your top 10.
It should have. But
it didn't reach my top 10.
My mom didn't. My parents didn't let us watch Ed and Eddie that much.
Oh,
because they used stupid a lot.
Oh, the word stupid?
Yeah, they use the word stupid. My parents didn't want us to like get in the habit.
Dang, my parents did not censor us at all. They didn't. Yeah. They were just like, oh, the kids are watching shows. They didn't even like.
Yeah.
Well, that's why. I don't know why.
It was just that show.
I guess so.
It was.
I mean, it was a little unhinged.
We still learned how to say stupid because they would call us stupid.
That's so counterintuitive, but hey, I respect the effort. You know, they were trying to like not taint you guys in a sense.
Exactly.
You know, adult supervision. They're doing that right at least.
All right.
Cool. That was awesome. Thank you for sharing your 10.
What's your number 9?
Number 9. Let me get out of the Johnny Bravo. Totally Spies.
My sister liked that one.
Yes, Totally Spies, and it came out in November 3rd, 2001. So that one was like 2 years after.
You know, that's not even American.
Yeah, I remember you telling me it was.
It's like Italian or French.
I didn't know that. I always, I mean, I don't know. I just watched the show.
It's so good.
It was good. I liked, well, I think because I kind of, at one point, I remember watching it a lot later, but I really liked the way they used their gadgets. So, premise of the show, and I don't know it like at the top of my head, but just know, schoolgirls, you know,
That's right, boys.
Hold on. Schoolgirls, they're teens and they become like undercover agents. I just remember them always like jump shooting into like this underground HQ that they have.
When did this come out?
It came in 2001. But then
I don't think I've watched it in 2001. I think I watched it in like 2007 or something.
I watched it a lot later.
Yeah.
But yeah, their iconic like red, green, and yellow outfit. And then what I liked was like they're always having a new gadget that's disguised as something like an everyday. So it'll be like lipstick or like a little pocket mirror, and it'll be like lasers coming out of it. And I always thought, I always thought that was cool.
That was pretty cool.
And they're always like swinging somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'd like to. It's kind of like on the same for me comparable. No, maybe not so that comparable to like that feeling of Power Rangers of like, oh, I'm just living my everyday normal life, but behind the scenes, I'm this cool like undercover hero, and that's why I liked it. So it was cool. It was like a young girl. As a young girl, I'm like, I want to be like that one day. So
female empowerment.
Exactly. So number 9.
That's actually pretty like progressive for 2001.
I think so.
Show.
Thinking back now, but growing up with it, I'm actually very grateful to have like that type of representation. So.
Good stuff.
What's your number 9, Brock?
My number 9 is Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Wait a second. Give me 1 second.
You have that on your list? It's not number 9.
No, it's not my number 9.
So Foster's came on in 2004.
Yep.
And it's basically, the premise is like oh, what happens to your imaginary friend after you've grown up and like are done with them, right? Assuming imaginary friends are real. And essentially this old lady had, made her mansion and all her funds, invested all her funds, create this like orphanage for like all these imaginary friends. And these imaginary friends can be like rented out to like kids that like aren't very imaginative is the best way I can think about it. Like they can't come up with imaginary friends or they need a friend.
Right.
So like, hey, we can match you with an imaginary friend, just like how you get matched to a dog, a pet, an adoptive dog. Yeah. Right. It was good. I really liked it. I remember watching it a lot when I was a kid. It would come on I remember watching every new episode every Friday.
Oh, so you were watching it when it was still like...
Yeah, I was watching it. I was still a kid when it still came on. I was watching it. Very much into my Cartoon Network phase.
And that came out in 2004.
Yeah.
So I have that on my list as well. Should I share what place it was or...
Yeah, what place was it?
For me, that was 7.
Oh.
Yeah, 7.
It's not that far.
And now I'm thinking the reason why I ranked it 7 was because similar to you in the sense of like, I remember watching it a lot, but I did not understand because I was still very young. I didn't understand the premise of the show. Like, I was just like, oh, there's a bunch of like,
weird little people?
Yeah, funny little people in a house, and they're always kind of like getting into like these
shenanigans.
Yeah, shenanigans. I remember one scene where they were like trashing the house like crazy. I specifically liked the character, the orange-haired girl, and I don't know what her role in the show was.
But
yeah,
I think.
But I thought her reactions and dynamic.
Oh, she was like
was really
nanny.
Funny. Oh yeah,
she was the old lady's like granddaughter or something.
Okay, so I liked her dynamic with that, and I remember that being like a core memory for me
because she was the responsible one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I think I kind of saw myself in her a little bit.
Okay,
and I think that's why I'm like, I enjoyed watching the show. Like, okay, these rowdy kids, and I'm like having to deal with them. But then at the same time, I think there were times where like she kind of let her guard down in a sense, and that's how like they're able to bond. Like it's not just like me trying to be responsible, but I like that. Yeah, I like the dynamic.
You saying that's how you are now, Cynthia?
Yes, like, well, I feel like that's why I liked watching cartoons growing up too, as like kind of like a sense of escape. And then seeing like, oh, it's fun. You actually can have fun, things like that.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was a fun show for me.
Okay, well, that was your number 7, but what was your number 8?
All right, ever heard of 16?
Yes.
16.
Yeah. Life is great.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
When you're growing up so fast.
Dang, we're going to get demonetized out here.
We're not monetized yet, so it doesn't matter. But Pokemon, we're ready. All right, 16. Life is great when you're growing up so fast.
Yes, that was...
You got to make the good times last.
Oh! Good stuff, Brock. Dang, yes. That just literally... I'm like going back in time now. Memories flooded in. I remember it being, well...
This also wasn't an American show.
It wasn't?
I think it was Canadian.
Oh, shoot. Oh, yes. I did remember that being... Yes, it is. It is a Canadian series.
It was Canadian produced.
It came out in 2008. So, yeah, that had been the recent premiere when, like...
Damn, 2008? Mm-hmm. All my shows are cut off by then.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, 2008, and I watched that. I think it was still in the same time frame like where total drama was a big thing too.
I remember that.
But for me, I didn't really like that show that much because I felt like it was too
rowdy TV-ish.
It was just like a little graphic for me.
Okay.
Like they were like eating cockroaches and blood. It was like a competition show, like survival competition show.
It was like survival.
Yeah, so I wasn't like, I was tense. I was like stressed out watching those scenes. But for 16, it was more like, oh, the cool, like these kids, like group of like high schoolers. Yeah, teenagers actually.
Were you a teenager during that time?
I was not.
Preteen?
Preteen. I was in middle school.
So did you think like,
I thought
when I become go into high school, become a teenager, I'm gonna be like that too?
It was kind of that like exposure to like, you know, the cliquey, popular, and like weird dynamic between like, I would say at the time I'm thinking, you know, female and male like friendships, and then also like exposure to romance too, because some of the people in the show have like those complicated relationship things, and I thought that was really fun to watch. I'm like, ooh, spicy.
Okay. Well, why don't we keep moving?
Mm-hmm.
So my number 8 was, I'll do 8 and 7 because we already did your 7.
Yeah.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yo.
The show that gave every kid nightmares.
Yep, me included.
Yeah, basically a dog lived in the middle of nowhere with his 2 elderly owners, getting into a bunch of scary shenanigans and trying to figure his way out. Gave everyone nightmares. Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh, that's
great
a good
show
one.
about literally a kid with a lab.
Yeah.
Sister's always going in trying to destroy every day.
For real.
But it was something my sister and I watched like religiously.
For real?
Because it was like great. And then you had like, they did a lot of different specials too.
Oh.
Which was great. But let's go into 6 because I definitely want to get to our top 5 today.
Gotcha.
So my number 6 might be controversial, might be something that no one remembers. Mucha Lucha.
I remember Mucha Lucha.
Mucha Lucha was basically a show about Nacho Libres, Mexican or Latino masked wrestlers, as if the world was revolved around them, right? Like every kid was a masked wrestler, their parents were masked wrestlers, everyone had a signature move, etc.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I remember my sister and I watching that, and even with my cousins too. And everyone go like Mucha Lucha.
I remember like slight remnants of the show.
Yeah.
But it was not one of my core.
Okay.
Interesting. So you and your sister watch that religiously.
Yeah, we watched that quite a bit. And,
Dang.
Sometimes I feel like my partner would like it too because she was into WWE.
Oh, what? I did not know that.
So I feel like
we gotta bring it back. We gotta bring it back then.
We'll bring it back eventually.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, what's your number 6?
Number 6?
Right, that didn't make the top 5. What didn't make your top 5?
Well, okay, number 6 for me, something we both love, Pokemon.
Get out.
It was not my top 5 because as much as it was great, I like Pokemon as its.
I'm gonna say you're gonna have to pick something else.
No,
because
I can't.
Pokemon technically was Kids WB.
Oh well, okay.
Not Cartoon Network.
For me, it was Cartoon Network because it was the Diamond and Pearl version broadcasted on Cartoon Network. So maybe I'll rephrase. Not Pokemon in general, but Pokemon that specific series.
Okay.
Yeah, the Diamond and Pearl, the one with Dawn.
Yeah, because that's when you started.
That's when I started like
Pokemon journey.
The 4th gen. Let's go back to episode 1. Yeah, that was where I started. That's why I remember that being very like a core memory of my childhood. I watched it every morning before school.
Cynthia. Cynthia. Well, that's 1 point for me.
1 point for Brock.
Shit.
Hell yeah. What were you saying, Brock?
Well, Cynthia, what I was saying was
this is great.
I want you to take that back.
Okay.
Because we're trying to get that Pokemon sponsorship. What are you doing?
No, I mean, it's just that I think the shows Pokemon did make a good like impact on me, but there was no depth to the show. You feel me?
Get out.
It was just like the kids, they go on an adventure. No.
Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So I think that's enough.
All right, what was your 6 again?
We might have to lock it up.
Oh, Mucho Lucho. That's right.
Okay, top 5.
Okay.
The big top 5.
All right, top 5. What's your number 5, bro?
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh.
Dark comedy at its best.
Okay. I did like that show.
Yeah.
I did like it.
Special. Ooh, every movie, every
love
special
the Christmas
movie.
specials.
Why did you? Well, Christmas is one of my favorite holidays.
Oh, okay. I'm there with you. But it's so funny because I feel like he's ranking them on the Christmas specials.
No, Johnny Bravo was like number 10. But anyways, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy was definitely my number 5.
Okay.
Like I watched that a lot, and I remember playing like the Halloween special was the best one because they had the Halloween game also.
Oh, was it on like the web?
Yeah, on like CartoonNetwork.com.
Dang, that's
with
cool.
Like Jack-o'-lantern and Jack, and like you're trying to beat him.
I
with,
miss
like,
those
different
times.
Powers.
Yeah,
good times.
Good times when like the shows had video games and you can like play it.
Ooh, that could be another lens.
Ooh. Oh, we can go into that.
Yes.
Look forward to that one because I have a lot of games.
Miniclip.com, Heli Attack 3.
Do you remember
Metal Slug?
Whoa, these are things I've never heard. There was okay. Let's not. Yeah, you're right. Stay on topic.
All right, what's your number 5? Cynthia.
My number 5, Teen Titans.
Oh, I have that too. Number 3 though.
That's not your number 3. Oh, okay.
Teen Titans number 3 for me.
Yeah, Teen Titans was big. I like the what's it called? The opening song. I don't remember how.
Teen Titans.
Yeah, I loved it.
When there's trouble, you know who
and it was sung by 2 Japanese singers, I believe.
Yeah. Did you know those Japanese singers actually had a Cartoon Network show?
Huh?
Yeah.
No way. Well, we'll have to dig into that one day.
Amiyumi show.
What? Oh, that's right. I didn't know it was based off of
Amiyumi show.
I didn't know that was based off of them.
Yes, they're the voice actors too.
That's crazy.
I think they're the voice actors. I don't remember.
Cool. Good to know.
Quote me on that.
Good to know.
But
yeah, great
show. I remember playing the game too. That was fun.
I didn't know there was a game.
But that was also my introduction to DC.
Oh,
like DC universe, like Superman.
Yeah.
It wasn't Superman. It wasn't Batman. Well, yeah, it was Batman, but all I knew was Batman and like Superman.
Yeah, you didn't know about the Robin and Batman. Like
Teen Titans gave me the expansion of like the rest of the DC universe, like the fact that Robin actually broke off and like did his own thing, like had his own team.
Yeah,
there's like Cyborg, Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire.
I didn't know. So for me, it was more like I still didn't know it was DC until a lot later. I was like, "Wow, cool superheroes!"
I think that's
in a tall T building.
Yeah, but I think the other reason why you and I liked it a little bit, it was different too, right? The animation style. Yeah. It was more Japanese anime versus like the typical Western cartoon style. Like the expressions and the movements were just very like animated and like over the top what you expect from like an anime. And I feel like it had good plot. Oh yeah, the plot was great.
That's why I like that over Pokemon, because for me, the Pokemon obviously did have plot, but
no, it didn't. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Pokemon sponsor us.
It totally, yeah. But it's just like, it's more entertainment. But with Teen Titans, I felt like there's a lot of essence, character development, things like that.
It made you want to come back every week.
Yeah, and even the enemies had their own like lore and backstory, and had me feeling like, dang, why do I feel for the enemies at one point?
Damn.
It's very like meticulous the way in which they built the characters. I think that's why that's my 5. But cool, that's your 3. Then what's your?
It's a real shame that they canceled it.
Yeah, and they didn't finish.
They never finished. It ended on a cliffhanger.
That's right.
I know they did that. They almost did that for Young Justice.
Oh, I didn't watch Young Justice.
So Young Justice was basically like Teen Titans in a sense. So basically all the sidekicks got together, formed their own Justice League, whatever.
Oh, interesting.
But it got canceled. But then HBO Max did bring it back.
So like they continued it or remastered it?
They continued it. So they continued it and like actually got to an ending for it. And just like Teen Titans, it had a plot. I wish they did that. I wish they will do that for Teen Titans in the future.
I hope so. Please, if you're listening out there, finish it, and I'll rewatch it from the beginning.
Yeah,
I think I watched even some of the movies that they had, but I can't remember.
They only had one movie.
Oh, was it
Teen Titans in Tokyo?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I like that movie a lot.
That was good.
Cool. Did you list your number 5, Brock?
Yeah, my number 5 is Grim Adventures Billy Mandy.
Oh, that's
right.
Number
4, Ben 10.
Oh,
my cousins and I
me
walked
too.
That religiously. That was your number 4 too?
Yes, come on.
Woo.
Right here. All right.
Oh shit.
I can't spoil you.
Ben 10. My cousins and I watched it religiously. We fell in love with the show from the beginning. Like it's 10-year-old gets a super cool watch from space.
Yeah.
And like is able to turn into so many different aliens.
Yes.
And every episode was like a different adventure, and then but it actually built up to a story.
Yeah.
To the point where like they had a sequel, Ben 10 Alien Force, Ben 10 Ultimate Alien,
that's
and then
right.
Omniverse.
Yeah.
And I think that's where
I think I liked Ben 10 and then into Ben 10 Alien Force was good, but the ones after that I have no idea.
Ultimate Alien essentially finished up. Oh. And then Omniverse they made it more cartoony.
I heard like less and maybe serious. Spoiler alert, but isn't this a time loop thing?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they involved the multiverse in a little bit.
I guess so. That's when it got confusing for me. So I just like
it got a little bit convoluted, but it was still a very good show.
I liked the cousin and then that one guy,
Kevin Levin.
Is that his name?
I don't know, the bad boy.
Yeah, the bad boy.
Kevin Levin.
Yeah, I ate that.
Eventually became him friends.
Yup. Yeah. So I like their dynamic then. I think a lot of the shows that I watched growing up, I was a huge like enemies to lovers. I love that trope. I don't know why.
Well, it's the whole part of like, them making themselves better, right? Like trying to redeem. It's a good redemption story.
Yeah, I love redemption story. Yeah. And so if we ever dive into the anime, we can kind of go there. That's where a lot will. And the next lens. Cool.
Catch us next time on Dragon Ball. No.
Oh my God, that was one of my childhood ones.
Yeah, but that's in Toonami.
Oh, now that I think about it, wait. Okay, we'll
that's Toonami. We'll have Cartoon Network adjacent.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Your number 3 was
my number 3.
I think you mentioned this.
Yeah,
before.
Teen Titans.
Oh, that was your Teen Titans. Okay.
That was my number 3. But what was your number 3?
Number 3 for me was Codename Kids Next Door.
How dare you put that as your number 3? That show was the best.
There were some other ones that a little later on were better for me.
Yeah. I don't know you. Codename Kids Next Door.
I don't think he was watching.
Arguably the best show.
Oh, so is that your number 1? Is what you're telling me?
The best show as me as a kid. That's my number 1.
Okay.
If we were talking about shows like me later on, maybe it would have been like Adventure Time. But Codename Kids Next Door, me as like a 10-year-old preteen or preteen. Yeah. Codename Kids Next Door was my number 1 Cartoon Network show that my sister, my cousins, and I watched religiously every Friday. Yeah. Every time, like, okay, time for a new episode of Codename Kids Next Door.
Right.
Kids Next Door. Kids Next Door.
Oh, I don't remember this song. Shoot, I need to.
And that's your number 3?
It is my number 3 because I remember also watching it.
Yeah.
In childhood.
Okay.
Like, so when did it come out? It came out 2002.
2002.
Yeah, it came out a while back, y'all. So
that first episode
that would have been my first.
Hooked me up.
Oh my God, yes. I
got me hooked.
Y'all, the tree house. I love the whole dynamic with
that.
They
created like a whole lore.
There was one episode, I don't know if you remember, where there were other like kids in a whole different tree.
Yeah.
Is that how that whole premise? Because
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So,
I mean, there was a movie.
Again, very small remnants, but I loved it. I remember loving the show a lot. So that's
we'll get to
all
that
I
one.
can say.
That's my number 1. So we could talk more about that when we get there. But my number 2. So that was your number 3. Yep. My number 2, Samurai Jack.
Oh.
Samurai Jack was very artistic. I'm surprised you didn't like that because of the artistic nature about it.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of dialogue.
No, I remember him being
like
that the silent.
Yeah. And like
I remember him going with the sword, and I was just going like.
Yeah. Everyone, when Samurai Jack came out, everyone like wanted to be a samurai.
When did it come out?
2001.
Oh yeah.
Everyone wants to be samurai. Everyone wants to unsheathe their sword or unsheathe their sword, however you want to pronounce it.
It was the artwork. What I found to be unique about it, it was very like straight.
Yeah. It was like lines, very
lines.
edgy. Mm-hmm. It was very. I mean, it was a very classic like early 2000s Western
similar
animation.
To like Dexter.
Yeah, similar to Dexter. I would say it came out like about that time because Dexter was like 1996.
Yeah.
Like it all came from the same studios of Cartoon Network, same animators most likely.
Yeah.
They actually recently, I think it was 2020, 2022, something like that, brought it back for like a final season or 2. But I think it was mostly Adult Swim, but they finished the entire story and it was so beautifully done each episode.
Oh, I'll have to go back and watch it.
You'll love it. Go back, watch like the final like episodes.
Yeah.
It is beautifully and masterly done.
Dang. Okay. Well, good.
But that's maybe because like I'm older now, so like I appreciate it more.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of why my first 2 is what it is in a sense for me.
All right. So then what's your number 2 then?
Well, for like to your point earlier, if you were thinking later, but for me, that was still childhood for me. So Adventure Time.
Yeah.
I was like,
I agree.
I was like 10.
Yeah.
So when it first came out, I remember, oh my gosh, like, well, at first it was always like fun. There were like filler episodes.
Yeah.
Like there was no concrete lore. I think a lot later was when I appreciated like the storyline.
Because I think the creator started actually like putting things together. Like,
exactly.
Oh, maybe we should create a lore and like
story. At first it was just like Jake and Finn just like going around, effing
fighting
around.
monsters.
Yeah. Like just fun. And then Princess Bubblegum was a big thing. But then later on, Flame Princess came and Marceline as well. And that's when when she got introduced was when like I was like really eating to show up.
Did you resonate with Marceline? Is that why?
More so, I think I didn't understand. I think when they dropped the lore with her mother, I don't know if you know.
Mother being human.
Mm-hmm. And then how like, her mom kind of hid
her illness.
Yes. And she thought she was abandoned. That shit hit.
But that was later on though.
That was a lot later on.
Yeah.
But I think that's why like I still like when I look back at that, I'm like, this is a show. Like a very good mastered show where they build on the story and the characters. And I feel like that's what makes it memorable. It's like they bring a lot of humanness to the cartoons. And it's like, oh, hey, it may be like an escape for some of you watching. Like it's all fun and games. But realizing, oh, these fun people who you might look at like, oh, they're just having a good time. They actually have a lot deep down. Like there's a lot that goes on. In each character, same with Finn and his relationship with his dad, and he's trying like the whole premise is him trying to find his parents. Family. Yeah, exactly.
Well, not just his family; it's like where he belongs.
Exactly,
because he is the last human.
That's right.
In like this world that he knows of.
Yeah.
And that's why he's been looking for like people that are like him because he can't like imagine like am I really the last human?
Right. So
because you do see remnants.
The meaning behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I liked about it is like you also throughout every episode you do kind of see remnants of like what happened, like because you're thinking like how is he the last human, right? You find out there was like this spoiler alert, this huge like nuclear war, right, and it like destroyed everything and set things backwards. Some humans survived, but like they didn't survive long because people mutated, different monsters were created. So yeah.
So that was cool. I like how things were wrapped up. I watched the movie, I think, nearing the end.
There was a movie?
Yeah, there was like a finale. Well, I don't know if it was a finale.
It's probably
ending.
A finale.
It might have been, yeah. It was a finale. And another part of the shows, I think, for my top two is that music was a big thing. Like, they had a lot of fun songs in it as well. A lot of fun
songs were done in there.
Yes, so that's why I liked it. What's your number two?
But did you, well, before we, well, I already said my number two. But before we move on, did you watch like the epilogue episodes, like the special episodes?
Oh yes. So I watched. I think. I don't know. No, I don't know if I watched. I watched the.
Because there's a BMO one. I think that's the first one that came out. I
didn't watch the BMO one. I watched the vampire one.
Vampire one was good.
The stakes.
Wait, no, that's a special, girl.
That was a special. I don't think I watched any of the epilogues.
Yeah, there's a one about BMO. I think that was supposed to be like a prologue of him like going back to her. There was like the other ones where like Marceline and Bubblegum like what are they their relationship now, how they got started.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then there was like one about Finn dying.
Yeah. Spoiler. Oh dang, that was actually insane.
AIDS. Yeah. I was like, oh crap.
I liked all those. I mean, parallels and all those things you can see like leading up into it. Well, actually, that's not really parallels. It's more like background. Yeah. Right. Lore. So you can build. They built on top of the stories.
The art was really well done.
I agree.
They very much took a very artistic route, and that's why I think you'll like Samurai Jack, like the later.
Oh, okay. I'll have to go because I don't. I think because I never started it, I didn't like. So going back, I'm gonna go check it out. Thank you, Brock.
My number one, as you know,
okay.
Codename Kids Next Door.
Yeah, look, you know who I remember a lot.
Who?
The green one.
Number 3?
Yeah.
She was Asian. That's why. She was a cutesy Asian. I think she was Japanese.
Yeah, her sleeves are always off of her hands.
But like, you would actually see that with like, at least in my school, like a lot of people like.
No, they perfected that.
Had that out there.
They perfected that.
So like, I think maybe it was influence.
Yeah, I resonated.
But yeah, it was. I really like the show. The first episode where it was about like the ice cream trucks and stuff.
Yes, I remember that.
Like got me and my like sister Hooked.
Oh, shit.
And like we just watched that religiously, and we watched every single episode.
Yeah.
There was a story that leads up to it, and then I even like when it ended, I was like already a preteen. Like this wasn't like that cool anymore to me. Oh. But like I still loved watching it because I wanted to see how it all ended. And then there was like rumors that like spoiler alert, like at the end he gets like brought into like the global Kids Next Door, where it's like this organization is like all like made up of kids from different planets that make up this organization.
Oh my gosh. It got to the planet level?
Yeah, but that's where they ended it, right? That's when they ended the series. But there was rumors that like the creator was trying to like start a project where it like continued and did that story. Oh. And like what that would look like.
When did it end?
2008.
2008? Dang.
Yeah. And then...
Oh yeah, it started in 2002, so only like for 6 years.
6 years. So it ended in 2000. And 6 years is pretty long for most shows.
Yeah. No, that's.
And then, but yeah, there were plans of rebooting it. It didn't really go anywhere. You saw like storyboards, right? There were storyboards everywhere. Like
so they were trying to pitch
created a website.
Oh, dang.
And everything, but it just never really went anywhere. I remember seeing it in college, like my junior year or senior year.
Yeah.
And it's been like 10, 12 years since then. Oh, so nothing really like took off from there.
That's sad. I feel like that, I mean, it's such a unique like storyline.
It's a very unique story. It's something every kid would like, right? It's like, oh, I really hate homework. Let me join the secret agent group to like get rid of it, abolish it. Oh, why are parents making me eat broccoli and healthy stuff instead? So like it really resonated with like kids and like their imagination on trying to like get past it.
I'm wondering if it's because with the newer generations, it's just not relatable anymore.
Maybe.
I think that might be it. It's like that's why I feel like the youth is not youthing anymore. We don't go. They don't grow. They don't. I mean, what to say? Like they don't have the same pain spots.
Yeah.
They're not concerned about wanting to just do homework, not wanting to do homework. It's like
they got ChatGPT to do their homework now.
That's right. It's a scary world now. Yeah. But my number one is Steven Universe. Hey.
I kind of knew you would say that.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It's very much you and your vibe. Mm-hmm. I remember Steven Universe coming out when I was in high school.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah. No. 2013?
Yeah, 2013.
I was in college.
Damn.
Hey.
Sorry.
Hey. Hey.
I was graduating middle school.
Hey. Hey.
That's what.
Yeah, I was in college. I remember it came out. I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. I remember seeing like the first few episodes, but then I stopped.
Yeah.
And then it jumped.
Oh.
Because it was like I think a year later that I watched another episode. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. So for me, I actually didn't. I think it was high school time. So like you said, there was a huge jump. Like even just like experiencing it, watching it like in between from the beginning was more like wholesome. Like they start off slow. It's like, oh my god, just a kid and his crystal gems and his dad, and he's just on the beach playing a ukulele and singing songs and just trying to establish who he is and where he came from and why he has a gem in his stomach. But it's always like it's like very wholesome in the start. But then as seasons progress, again, I really like the building of character, the building of implementing or introducing hard to talk about topics, but building it in the underlying tones. And it's only a lot later, like in high school, that I found it to be like really interesting because you can read into it. Like me, kid, like just when it came out, I'm like, okay, cool, fun. But then later on, you're like, wait a second, things started hitting, and I don't remember it ended a lot recently. So they just introduced Steven Universe: The Future recently. But leading up into that, it gets crazy. Spoiler alert, guys, a lot of spoiler alerts. But his relationship with his mom, that's no longer existing because she literally is the gem in him. That was crazy.
Yeah.
When they dropped it, they were like, oh, yeah, by the way, yeah, she led the whole rebellion, but, like, she used to be a diamond. Crazy.
Yeah. She used to be a tyrant.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, for some reason, her build was a lot smaller. Like all the other diamonds, so yellow, white, blue diamond, they were like huge, giant in comparison. And for her, I think to them, it was like, okay, you're a cute little thing. And then Earth was her little play toy. Mm-hmm. But then she fell in love with humans, and hence why Steven was birthed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was the show that I remembered the most, as you can see. Like, I can, like, go into depth in it, and that's why that's my number one. Like, I resonated with it a lot, too, because I think expression and communication was a hard thing for me growing up, and that was one thing they did very well in the show.
So you were wrapping up Steven Universe.
Yep. It was great. I think the musical, I think one of my favorite artists is Rebecca Sugar. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Great. She, like, created Steven Universe. I think she also, like, worked on Adventure Time, but her music literally changed my brain chemistry.
Adventure Time.
What? She started on. I thought you said she started.
On
I thought you said started. I was like, wait.
She started on Adventure Time, then she pitched Steven Universe.
Yeah, it was based off of her brother, her younger brother. That was
Did you know she also wrote the song for? I think the special was called "Over the Garden Wall," something like that.
Yes,
that song was great, but that special was like I think it was Halloween when that special came out. I like to watch it every Halloween.
Yeah,
it's great.
I love how you like all the specials. Like, those are, like, your core memories for you. He loves the holidays, guys. Right?
Hell yeah.
When we do a Halloween Christmas special coming up, we got to make that special for Brock.
Let's see if we last.
We are going to last. I'm going to make it last. Cool. So that was our top 10, guys. Thank you for, let us know what your top 10 is and if you
hopefully agree with us. Like, some of these brought back some memories for y'all.
Yeah. It definitely did for me because I
also tried to come up with some niche ones. That Mucho Lucha that like most people don't really remember.
Yeah, because I feel like you know all the I don't know some of them from yours, but have you watched all the shows that I've watched?
I watched all the shows that you watched. They just didn't really make it to my top 10.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was very much a cartoon kid.
Yeah. Oh wait, were we all? No, everything was cartoons here.
It's Cartoon Network, girl. It'll be different when we in our next episode when we talk about Disney Channel.
Disney Channel
or Nickelodeon. We'll see.
Okay. No, yeah, we'll get there.
But until then, thank you for joining us today. And we'll see all you lensers and 4-eyers next time.
We'll see you at the next lens.
We'll see you at the next lens.
I like that.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. Peace out.
Peace out.